Welcome to Vlogmas 2024, where I'm going to be doing a vlog a day until Christmas. That is, we are celebrating Christmas RV style. So we're going to be doing things like camping themed crafts, DIY gifts, talking about awesome experiences and places to go in your RV if you want to celebrate the holiday RV style. And also, of course, we're talking about food. Today, we're going to be making some DIY fire starters, and they are going to be cute enough to give as a gift. There's a whole lot of different kinds of DIY fire starters that you can make. Today, we're going to be making the kind that use the toilet paper rolls and the dryer lint. The one thing that you want to do is start to accumulate all of these recyclable materials early. So I actually have this glass jar that I use to sit on top of my folding table in my laundry room, and every time I get a little bit of lint out of the dryer, it goes into this bucket here. I also keep our toilet paper rolls. Now, this is something that takes us quite a long time to accumulate. It's just my husband and I living together in this home. So if you are in the same boat and you're not accumulating things like toilet paper rolls fast enough, you can also take a paper towel roll and cut it in half, and you'll get there a whole lot faster than collecting toilet paper rolls. The other thing that you're going to need is wax paper, and you're going to need some regular, just like 8.5 by 11 paper. That's all you need. It's a really easy project. After we talk about how you actually make the rolls themselves, then we're going to talk about how to jazz them up so that you can give them as a gift. And you know what? They're a really great gift for not only people who like to camp, but people who have real wood burning fireplaces. We use these things at home. We have an older home and we have a wood burning fireplace. We don't actually use it that often because we are in the middle of Phoenix, so it's usually pretty warm. But sometimes by Thanksgiving, if we're lucky, if not, it might take a little bit longer to get cool enough so that we can actually run our burn wood and have a real fire in our fireplace inside the house. We do have a fire pit outside, so it gets cool enough outside that we can actually have a fire in our fire pit, almost like we're camping when we're at home in our backyard. So these things are really nice for actually using at the campsite or in other situations. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to take one toilet paper roll, and we're going to just stuff it with some dryer lint. And you know, dryer lint, you probably have heard, there's a lot of people who don't clean out their dryer lint, or something gets clogged up in there, and they can cause house fires. This dryer lint is extremely flammable. I actually have a friend who her sister's house didn't burn down, but had a ton of damage because a fire started inside her dryer, vent thing when she wasn't home, and she came home to a house that was not totaled, but it definitely had a ton of fire damage. So always turn your dryer off when you leave home. Don't ever let that thing run on its own while you're not there. But that's why these things make really good fire starter, because it is so flammable. The other thing that you want to put in here is wax paper, and it's the wax on here that actually helps to start the fire as well. So I have just regular wax paper that you use in your kitchen, and cut them in about 6 by 7 inch little squares. If you take one roll and cut it in half, you can get 2 pieces out of each roll. And so what we're going to do here is we're just going to take that stuffed dryer lint, the toilet paper roll that's stuffed with dryer lint. Now, one thing I forgot to say is that you don't want to stuff this super, super tight, because it needs oxygen to get in there and to actually start to burn. So you want it full, but you don't want it stuffed really tight. So now we're going to take this wax paper and just wrap it right around this toilet paper roll. And then we are going to take this 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and we are going to wrap it also. So take it long ways to long ways and we're going to roll it up. And then if you've ever made candy, you know how to do a candy wrapper. You just take the end of it and you squeeze and turn. So you squeeze it in the direction that you don't want the paper to unroll. And we're going to do the same thing over here. And that is a DIY fire starter. These things work really wonderfully. So what I normally do is I will stick 2 or 3 of them in the bottom of our fire pit when we're camping or in our fireplace at home and put some little bit of kindling on top and just start it like you would a normal fire. Start the ends of the paper. It will burn through just because everything in there is flammable and it will just kind of have a nice, slow, even burn. And it's perfect for starting dry kindling. Now, how do you make this something that's cute enough to give as a gift? Because this is kind of boring. So I have some little things that I made up. They're little templates where you can print, if you have a printer, print on your paper, and they are little trivia questions that are all about Smokey Bear. That's actually a really fun thing to do for kids to have a good time around a campfire, and it's a great educational thing too about Smokey. But there's other ways to do it too, especially for Christmas time. So I actually have a thing that I purchased on Amazon the other day. It's just a little kit. These things are awesome because they are like party favors for little kids parties. So this particular one has little notepads. It has some pencils, and everything is camping themed. It's got some little stickers. It's got some little erasers. It's got, these things aren't really camping themed, but they go with the pencils. It's a pencil sharpener. But what I'm going to be using out of this kit today is my little stamps. So I'm going to open this thing up and show you what they are. Super fun. And I'll have links in the description below. So if you want to go check these things out on Amazon, you can. So there are like little happy camping stamps. And this one's a little tent. There's a couple of repeated designs. And here's a little, of course, I'm going to want the little retro camper. And there's a bear and some magnifying glass, not magnifying. What do you call those things that you look through? Binoculars. And this is cute with, they are little marshmallows that are cooking over a campfire, and a little lantern, a compass, and I think I hit them all. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to take the paper and I am going to just stamp it with a bunch of stamps that are like camping themed stamps. This is a really fun gift and a fun craft for kids. And it's simple, it's not too messy. So what you want to do is you want to just kind of make these kind of go all different directions. And it's fun also because they're different colors. So I'm going to just keep stamping. And I don't think I got the yellow one yet. These are color coded. So, oh, that one you can't see very well. If it's yellow, push hard. So here's my little tent. Another little tent. So just kind of go around. You don't have to go all the way to the edges because the the inside edge gets covered up. This outside one you'll still see. So one side of the paper, you actually want to somehow decorate it, whether you're doing this or you're doing some drawings or whatever it is that you want to do to decorate it. You want to do that all the way to the edge. Fun little touch that makes it camping style. Of course, campfire starters are great because they're like a camping thing that you actually use. But to have the fire starter actually have some kind of design that is camping related, that makes it even more adorable. You can use things like wrapping paper, but wrapping paper can get pretty expensive. So I think this is a better option. All right, so now what we're going to do is the same thing. Stuff the roll with the lint, and the lint is a little dusty. And then we will wrap it with our wax paper. Honestly, I hardly ever use wax paper for anything nowadays. I use wax paper to make, these kinds of projects because I use mostly reusable, like, Tupperware or Ziplocs or my food sealer bags or whatever. I don't use wax paper for much when it comes to like storing food or anything like that. So now we stamped all the way to this edge. So this edge is showing, and we're going to go ahead and do the twist to close her up all the way. Now, when you stamp to this edge, that one gets kind of twisted up, so you don't see that stuff as well. But you can see here, here's the little binoculars, the marshmallows that are getting roasted over the fire, the bear, the compass, all that kind of stuff. So that's that. And then we're going to keep going, and we're going to put it in a cute bag. The other thing that you can do to make it more Christmassy is you can tie the ends up. Now, you don't have to tie the ends. They actually stay together all by themselves. But if you want to put something on there that actually makes it look a little more festive, then pipe cleaners are something that you might want to use. The thing that you wouldn't like about the pipe cleaners is that they're not really good things to burn because there's those little sticks in there. So, that little wire that's in there. But anytime you do something that's a little bit blingy for Christmas, I think that sparkle and Christmas just kind of go together. So here I'm just going to do a little pipe cleaner and wrap it around, and it'll give you a nice little kind of just like a little sparkly touch to make it feel a little bit more like Christmas. The other thing that you can do to make it look a little more like Christmas is change the color of your paper. So instead of using just plain white paper, you might want to color code to something that is Christmassy. So you might want to use red or green, but think about that with however you're decorating that, because your little stamps here on a colored paper aren't going to show up as well. So I'm going to keep working on these, and then we will end up putting them in our gift bag, and you'll see how cute they are. When we were kids, we had a little place on a river where we would go to kind of camp out for the weekend. We had a travel trailer that was just stationary and parked there, and it was fun. It was part of my childhood growing up with just friends and family and that kind of thing. Well, one day we had some of our family friends come to visit, and we were all sitting around the campfire, and all of a sudden, Joey says to Jason, your shoes are melting, because he was sitting there with his feet up, just kind of like hanging out there at the fire, and his shoes were actually melting. Yes. So we have this saying, every camper knows, you have those things where they're the newbies that just, came and visited and don't know that they shouldn't, catch their shoes on fire. So Every camper knows, don't keep your shoes or your bare feet, even worse, too close to the fire where they're going to actually catch on fire before the end of the night. Not a good thing. He ended up not getting hurt, but his shoes were definitely toast. They were history. The other thing that you can wrap the ends of these things with when you want to do a little decorative wrap is string. And actually, string is a better thing to wrap with just because it burns, better than the wire with stuff like that, that glitzy stuff on there. And this feels a little bit more natural and kind of more like, camper, outdoor, nature-y feel. How come I can't ever find the end of this? So the one thing that you can do here is stick with colors that are, kind of Christmassy in nature. And then it has a Christmas feel without having that blingy feel that you get from a shiny kind of pipe cleaner. So I'm using a kind of like a reddish, greenish, and some white. And any kind of colors that feel like Christmas or like winter. I like doing white and blue together, or silver and blue. I think that those are really cute colors for Christmas time. So this I just do in a knot or a little bow, and it is kind of just gives you that little flare on the end of each one of these fire starters. There's a lot of times where we are camping because we live in Arizona, we can't have campfires because there are fire restrictions because it's too dry and it's too dangerous. Wildfires are, at a high potential, so we can't have those. So in those situations, we either don't have a campfire or we use our propane fire pit. And I have an entire video that talks about how you can enjoy the camping experience and cook without using an open flame or charcoal briquettes or cooking over a campfire. And you can still stay legal and have a really great time without missing a beat. So I'll leave a link for that video in the description below. We do have a lot of extra lint because we have cats. So every time I wash anything, but especially like bedding and blankets and things like that, oh my gosh, we come out with we joke around that we could actually make another cat because we have so much cat fur in the lint from the dryer. Max and Izzy, they love camping with us. Right? Mm-hmm. They love camping with us. They hate the drive, but they love the camping. They have their little perches. They like to sit in their windows. They try to get out once in a while. They're indoor cats, and they try to get out once in a while, but we're very careful not to let them escape because, oh my gosh, it would be horrible to be out there in the wilderness and lose our animals. Did you hear about the family that went to that one, it's a national park? I forgot which one it was. And they lost their dog. And they went home without their dog. And all of a sudden their dog shows up. They have no idea how their dog ended up showing up like 1,000 miles away at their house. Oh, it's a crazy story. Oh, yeah, we have a love-hate relationship. We really do have a love-hate relationship with campfires because this last summer when we were camp hosts, there were so many people that left their campfires burning and hot and have a wind come up and have, embers blow and catch the forest on fire. We weren't happy about that. That was a total bummer. And a lot of work to put out people's campfires. It's amazing. amazing what people will do when they're like just not responsible and kind of, you know. I think I really like this this little stamp that's got the marshmallows on it a lot. It's nice to have a morning campfire when it's cold outside and you just want to heat up, but also you can, you know, make breakfast. And one of my favorite ways to make breakfast is doing a bacon over the campfire, and then also doing grilled French toast on a big cast iron skillet. That is one of my favorite campfire breakfasts. All right, I don't know why I didn't just keep cutting enough wax paper to do all of these at one time. This is a really, really fun craft for kids to do. And I think that it's even more fun when they have the opportunity to make something and then use it afterwards. So think about that if there's little ones in your family. The process of collecting all the recyclable materials, it's kind of like a long-term project. It's a fun thing to, like, you know, see it come to fruition after all that time of collecting your dryer lint and your toilet paper rolls, that kind of thing. So depending on how many campfires you have, you might be done here. What do I have? 4, 5, I'm on number 6. But in order to fill even like a small little gift bag, you kind of want to bulk it out and make sure that there's plenty of rolls. And if you're doing it as a gift, you will want to put some little card in there that explains that these are what, you know, what they are. Oh, I forgot to stamp this one. You know, just fire starters. Use it as a, you know, with your kindling kind of thing. Why would marshmallows be my favorite? I don't know, because I like to eat. So if you run out of ink on these things, obviously the stamp is still good. So just get another stamp pad and you can keep stamping away. We do have a issue in my family with tunes around the campfire and who gets to pick the music that's being played. I don't know. It should be. I'll do a couple more of these. What do you do when you can't agree on the kind of music that you want to listen to? It's hard. One of those tough issues. Who gets to control the speaker? So, you know, the place that we were camp hosting at this summer, we have a resident elk. His name is Bradley, and he kind of meanders in and out of campsites regularly. And I'll tell you what, that is one of the scariest things when you are sitting around a campfire and all of a sudden out of the, like, you know, your peripheral vision, there's something that's going on and this really big, massive thing is moving. To find out it's Bradley is a real relief because he's a gentle giant, but he sure is scary when he just kind of pops up into your campsite. Another really scary thing that happened this summer was we're sitting around a campfire. There were, 5 of us with a dog. And all of a sudden, my sister takes her dog and gets ready to go home to her campsite, which is like right next door to ours. And Ryan kind of like backs up, and obviously there was like something there in the darkness that we didn't see. We get a flashlight and there's a rattlesnake right behind our camp chairs. We had no idea that it was there. The good thing was that Ryan had gone to rattlesnake training, and so he knew what it was, and he knew that it wasn't friendly, and he knew that he needed to stay away from it. And so he warned my sister, and thankfully nothing happened. Nobody got hurt. But wow, what a scary thing to, like, all of a sudden, you don't realize what is out there when you were just kind of like, hanging out at the campfire, and you kind of think everything around you is just, like critters are gone and that kind of thing. And I mean, seriously, it was a big one too, a big rattler. Do you have any snakes? What's your worst animal in the areas that you camp? I'm curious to know what kind of experiences you've had in dealing with critters around your campsite, and something that may have scared you or something you learned the lesson from. So the lesson that we learned from that was that we can't trust that there is not a snake somewhere nearby. Like, we always normally have a flashlight, and when we start walking or whatever, we typically are looking where we're going, but it was like there was so much light from the fire itself that it was easy to navigate around there before she actually started getting into the dark and walking to her camper. So it was wild. I'm really glad that he had that training and that nobody got hurt, and he was smart enough to back off. So I'm curious, what is the best homemade gift that you've ever received for anything, but particularly if you've received anything that was a camping theme or camping related gift? Curious to know what you've enjoyed. And I'm wondering, do you like to do crafts when you're camping, or like little projects? Some people are into projects and some people are not. I would say I like doing these kinds of projects at home, so that I can use them when we're camping. But when we're camping, I'm not doing this kind of thing because we're doing camping things. So I am getting close to having enough to fill a small gift bag. And again, I would write a little card and say, enjoy your fire starters, and maybe put a little note in there that says, how to use them. Throw 2 or 3 of these in with your kindling to get your fire started, and enjoy your next campfire, next couple of campfires. So depending on how many you want to put together, this can be enough for a whole camping season, or just for a couple of fires. I've got some other gift ideas that actually would go really well with this one. We'll be doing those later in the week. So here's a little gift bag. And then all I do is throw these things in here. And what you want to do is have enough in the bag where they are kind of popping out the top so that you can see them. And I still need to do a couple of more. So I'm going to continue working on these until I get enough that come out the top and fill the bag. I only have 7 rolls in here right now. So I think that probably doing another maybe 4 will fill the bag nicely so it's nice and full. So I'm going to keep going. Another popular way to make DIY fire starters is to do pine cones dipped in paraffin wax. And I think they are actually really cute, but they are a little more like a little messier project. So I don't like them as much as doing these, but they're fun too. So you might want to think about doing some of those. You could do a combo gift of, you know, different types of fire starters. If you wanted to bulk up a gift like this, you could always do something like anything that's like campfire related. So you might do something like a campfire cookbook with this, or something like a marshmallow sticks. Those marshmallow sticks that are the extendable ones are pretty cool. I will say my husband and I are a little trigger shy about camping on Christmas, because the last time we camped on Christmas, we came down with COVID. We didn't get it on that trip. I think we got it like right before the trip, but we didn't know we had it. And oh my gosh, it hit us when we were on that trip, and it was terrible. That was when COVID-19 was still kind of new. I think we caught it in like early 2020. But we ended up having to leave our trailer. We were camped with a friend who stayed. They stayed in their trailer, which was parked right next door. And we took off and they watched all of our stuff. And we came back, I think it was about a week later, just to pick up our stuff and get home to be sick and recover from COVID. It was terrible. Terrible. Don't wish COVID on anybody. I hear Izzy snoring. Is it Izzy or Max? Our cats snore pretty loud. I don't like doing these kinds of things in the middle of the Christmas like season, or like right before the holiday, because it feels like everything is really rushed. So I like to do these right at the beginning of the season, you know, like right after Thanksgiving, where you're just sort of decorating and you're sort of just getting into the spirit. That's when I find these things to be relaxing. Put on a little bit of Christmas music and, kind of get in the mood for the holiday. It's nice to have some downtime. For me, when I do crafts, it is a time to relax and just sort of slow down from, the hectic, normal, everyday life stuff. And of course, reflecting on the season, and we are believers, and so Christmas is a very important holiday for us. The birth of our Savior, and we never want to lose sight of the reason for the season. So it's really special for us in that way. All right, so I am out of rolls. I still have some more lint, so I guess we need to just go poop some more, get some more toilet paper rolls. And if we don't do that, we could use some more paper towels and just cut those things in half. So I am going to finish stuffing this. So what I did was I also changed it up to have the ties, the wrappers, be something that's a little bit more like natural looking twine. So that looks cute too. So just whatever it is that kind of works for the kind of decorating that you want to do, or kind of what you want the gift to feel like. So I'm stuffing those in there, and then I will tie that all together in some way. The other thing that you can do is use a bag that isn't natural in color, and something like a red bag that has more of a Christmas feel. And put these things in here. But whatever kind of case you use, whatever kind of bag that you use to stuff these in, just make sure that everything is it looks nice and full. And then put a nice little bow on it. So I should actually pull these out, the ones on top that have this twine feel. And If I want it to feel a little bit more natural, that's what I'll do. And then just take this bow, something that has a Christmas feel, but yet more of a natural kind of tones, and tie that up like that. You can do these, have them pre-tied, so all you need to do is kind of wrap it right around your box or your bag or whatever it is that you're using. And there you go. Let's see, how does that look? This has a little bit of wire in it, so it is something that can be sort of formed. So make them kind of big and fluffy. How's that? How's that? Cute? Cute. So for pennies, like really the only thing, most of the stuff that you are using here is just recycled material. So the only thing that really isn't is your paper and your wax paper. And if you want to do a little bit of, you know, the ribbon or whatever, but it's a very inexpensive gift, but it's more about the thought that counts and wishing somebody good, happy times and memories around a campfire, and a great way to say Merry Christmas, especially if you want to do it on a budget. So try these DIY fire starters. Make a few for yourself because they are really, really handy. You'll like them too. I have an entire video on campfire recipes. That would also be a really cute thing to print up the recipes. They're all printable, and to stuff some recipes in here for people who actually enjoy campfire cooking too. I'll leave a link for that video in the description below. Merry Christmas season, and I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas day number 2. See you then.